Hello, everybody. I'm Susanna Kennedy, and you are with the Thrive Network. And today we have a very special edition of Thrive in Wealth with Lauren Dallas. Lauren is a growth hacker, serial entrepreneur, and just all round awesome female girl boss.
My advice would be don't create a 5-year plan. Like, you literally do not know what this business is going to look like in 3 months or even in 1 month. As soon as you get customer feedback, everything could change. So do something. Create a 1-page business plan if you need that plan, and then just start taking some action and getting that feedback loop going.
She empowers hundreds and thousands of people from all over the world to really live their best lives by living in purpose with their businesses. How do you survive the first 1,000 days of your business? If you've gone from an idea and you're going to fruition, how do you actually survive those first 1,000 days? We're going to get some tips and tricks from Lauren. Hello, everybody. I'm Susanna Kennedy, and you are with the Thrive Network. And today we have a very special edition of Thrive in Wealth with Lauren Dallas. Lauren is a growth hacker, serial entrepreneur, and just all round awesome female girl boss. And she empowers hundreds and thousands of people from all over the world to really live their best lives by living in purpose with their businesses. And there are various tools that she uses to help you with. But social media is absolutely massive. And how do we make our business, whether it's online or not, thrive online, specifically now in this time? So Lauren has put together something really special today. So I'm going to welcome her, and then we can go into the discussion. But how do you survive the first 1,000 days of your business? If you've gone from an idea and you're going to fruition, how do you actually survive those first 1,000 days? We're going to get some tips and tricks from Lauren in just a second. Lauren, how are you doing? Let me just invite you into this conversation.
Liz, I am great as always. Yeah, it's been an interesting week. I mean, we were chatting just before. Every tech meltdown that you probably could have had in business, we have experienced this week, but we're still going. The business is still going, and it's been an incredible learning experience and the absolute perfect time to talk about how to survive when things like this do cross your path, and how to build the resilience needed to get through those 1,000 days. You know, a stat that we all know that a large proportion of businesses fail, but when it comes to those first 1,000 days specifically, it's 92% failure rate. And
what?
So, I know, it's absolutely huge. And so now with Future Females, just past our 1,000-day mark, we are excited to package up all of our learnings, all of the things that we probably wouldn't do if we started again, and share it out with entrepreneurs who are a little earlier in their journeys.
It's absolutely essential. I mean, I was speaking to Lauren about the fact that I was in tears, guys. I was in absolute tears on Thursday, because being an entrepreneur requires thick skin. It like really requires thick skin sometimes. And you are creating, you're putting your heart and soul into something, but sometimes you're like, what am I doing this all for? Like, is it ever going to come to fruition? Am I actually going to be successful? And this is why I think Future Females is such an incredible organization, is because when we have other entrepreneurs to speak to that understand what we're going through, we don't feel so alone, and also who are just a little bit further ahead than what we are in our new businesses. So let's dive in. Lauren, tell us a little bit more about this plan of yours.
Yes. So we've actually broken down the 1,000 days into 4 phases, and I can talk through each of them. I'm sure there's people in your community probably in every phase. Actually, maybe we can get people who are tuned in now just posting in the comments, like, where are you at in your business journey? I'll tell you the phases and you can let me know which one you're in. So before day one, this is when you are very much still floating around in that beautiful idea phase. We call this the dream. You are dreaming about what could be. Maybe you've seen a challenge out there in the world and you're like, I can tackle this, but you don't know exactly how yet. So that's the before day one, the dream. Day 1 to day 333, so essentially year 1, this is called the honeymoon period. Because for a lot of people, this is where you are starting, you're building, you're seeing tangible progress every month, if not every week or every day. Of course, there are the ups and downs, but you're making physical progress ahead. Day 334 to 666, so almost year 2, we call this the hustle zone. This is where you've probably had that initial spike and you're like, yes, I can do this. This is amazing. But then, and in tech startup world, we call this the trough of sorrow. You have this like emotional dip where the initial people who already knew you have probably bought from you. And you're now going, how do I sustain this? How do I keep this going? Not just from a business perspective, but a personal perspective every single day. And you are hustling hard. And then the 4th stage, which is between day 667 and 1,000, so most of year 3, I call this swimming in the ocean. And we named this phase because my partner actually said, my partner was asking me how I felt, probably a few months ago now. And I was like, I genuinely feel like I'm not drowning anymore. It's like I'm finally swimming in the ocean. Some people would say you should be flying. I don't personally think that's realistic. That's not been my journey, but I am at least swimming. And so that's why we call this phase 4.
Phase 4. So I can already see Patty is saying she's in the dream phase. She said it before you even finished all the phases. She was like, I'm in the dream phase. That's where I am.
Love
I was
that
speaking
phase.
to you. I got a beautiful message from Kagiso yesterday. I see you online, Kagiso, again today. And you, I think, are probably still in the dream phase or the honeymoon phase from what you sent me. A lot of people got so much out of the email marketing conversation we had on Thursday. And I know that, and they really were like, oh my goodness, couldn't believe how important this is. And so Lauren and I talk about these things often, but I think what's really special about this is you can prepare yourself for the next phase, because it is, you go through this, I'm so excited, I'm going to make this dream happen. And then you hit a wall and it's like, how do I get through this wall? So let me know if you guys resonate with this, whether you are watching this live or whether you're watching a recording of it. Just give me a thumbs up or say me too. Totally understand. Just give me a comment below so that we know who we are speaking to here. And I just want to welcome everybody that is online. I see that a lot of you are tuning in on Instagram and on Facebook. So welcome. For those of you who missed the introduction and have just tuned in now, I am speaking to serial entrepreneur and growth hacker, Lauren Dallas. And she is sharing with us, she's just launched a new, I think it's going to be an ebook as well as a product, but it takes you through your first 1,000 days of business. And just to recap very quickly, there are 4 phases: the dream phase, the honeymoon period, the hustle zone, which is the zone, and then the silver lining where you go, yes, I'm actually going now. I'm actually on my way. So we're asking you guys, where are you in your business? Are you in the dream phase? Are you in the honeymoon period? Are you in the hustle zone? Or have you reached the silver lining? Just so that we know who we are talking to. So Lauren, you told me that you're actually launching an ebook around this that people can get hold of.
Yes. So it's actually interesting because writing doesn't come especially naturally to me. And so and yet I felt like I needed to personally write this ebook rather than someone on the team, since it really is a compilation of my and my co-founder Serena's personal journeys. And it flowed out of me on Wednesday. And in 2 hours, we had this ebook, and it is much longer than I intended, but it does go through each phase. And we have a framework, it's very simple, but that we believe in. And that is that every entrepreneur, every person really has the same 4 like scarce resources that you can tap into and that your business needs. And that is time, money, relationships, and energy. And so in each of the phases, we talk about how do you fill that tank? How do you utilize this resource in the best way possible to get you through this phase and into the next on your journey to this 1,000 days? So we have already released it, and it is called How to Survive and Thrive Your First 1,000 Days in Business. We will, of course, share the link. You can also follow us on Instagram. It's just at Future Females, because we're going to be diving into each of these phases through the coming week. Before doing, and we'll probably mention this later as well, on Friday, my co-founder and I are running a fireside chat. So it will be a webinar like this, but just a really good personal discussion on our 1,000 days and an opportunity to really dig deeper into each of the tips, each of the challenges we mention, and really just also sharing any advice for people who have questions who are a little further earlier in their journey.
So what time is that happening on Friday? Because I definitely want to attend it, so I want to diarize it now.
It is 3 p.m. on Friday, as I'm saying this.
Is that South African time or European time?
Yes. Yesterday I booked a hotel, and clearly I haven't done this for a while. I booked it, I reserved it, and then I saw I booked it for the wrong month. And I was like, what? I'm so out of practice. So I just wanted to check. It is at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. South Africa Standard Time on Friday.
Okay. No, because we do have people I know tuning in from all over the world. And so just so that everybody knows, so that's 3 to 4 p.m. South African time, that's GMT +2 on Friday. So everybody that wants to join, I will put the link in the information. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, jump onto my Facebook, and I'll put the link in there as well for you guys. And then also the book. How do people? Is there a link to buy the book?
Yeah, it's completely free. We're giving it away. If you jump on Future Females Instagram, you can download it right now. And I'll also WhatsApp you the link, and we can share it straight into this group. But you can also just go to me on Instagram, lauren.dallas, and it is in my story right now. You can just swipe up.
Yay! Okay, so Lauren is tagged in everything here. So you will find her very, very easily, guys. And you can literally just pop on over and click on her and then go to her story. So if you're on Facebook, don't worry, I will put the link there for you guys. But if you're on Instagram, you can jump over to Lauren straight after this interview, and you can get it there as soon as we finished. So Lauren, let's just speak a little bit more about, like, what was your biggest challenge in your first, in the first segment, in the dream segment? Can I ask you a little bit about that? We do have a few more minutes, so I just want to give people a little bit more to chew on.
So, do you know that there are so many to choose from? I think that my personal biggest challenge in the dream phase was focus. And I think there's actually two types of people. There are the planners, and then there are the doers. And typically we're on a spectrum somewhere between the two. I am very much like 100% on the doing end of the spectrum. Like, jump first, figure out my life later.
My boyfriend just lectured me about that yesterday. He's like, you just dived in and just like started this thing. Where was the planning? I was like, I don't know. I just thought it was a good idea.
And it is. Look how beautifully everything has come together for you. There's a lot to be said for that. And actually, maybe the tip I'm going to talk about is for the doers, focus. This was my biggest issue. I tried to do 50 things all at once. I actually started 2 businesses at the same time, the Growth Academy and Future Females, or basically the same time. And I felt very torn between the two. I felt like I wasn't giving either the attention that it deserved. And I am sure if I had focused, I would have been a lot further ahead. I had amazing learnings from both. Both are still running, which is amazing, but I definitely think, and as annoying as I find this advice when it's given to me, focusing, just doing one thing first. Now what I make is a not to-do list. And so when I have an idea and I know, I'm like, please don't launch that right now. And my team is like, do not launch. So I put it on my not to do list, so I can always just come back to it later. I think for the planners, the advice that I would give, and my partner is in this category, it sounds like yours is too. My advice would be, don't create a 5-year plan. Like, you literally do not know what this business is going to look like in 3 months or even in 1 month. As soon as you get customer feedback, everything could change. So do something. Create a 1-page business plan if you need that plan, and then just start taking some action and getting that feedback loop going.
So a 1-page plan, and then because I know in your business school, it's a 10-week process, right? Of getting people into the actual flow of doing things properly, and setting yourself up right. Because I think that that's one of the biggest mistakes that people make, is they don't know how to set themselves up right. Guys, I'll give you an example. This email session that we did with Lauren, I went for the free option. I was like, okay, I've got no money coming in yet for my business, so let me just go with the free options. And then I learned that that was not the right thing to do, because there's so much valuable information that I'm losing out on by not having a paid for option. So those kind of little things, those little understandings are the type of things you can avoid when you are surrounded by support. And I think that maybe that for me is my biggest lesson, is as a doer, is like, I just go, yes, I'm doing this. And I dive right in. And then I go, oh shit, I didn't plan properly. And I didn't really think about this and this and this and this. Creating a support structure for yourself as you dive as a doer, I think has been my biggest learning. If you guys are listening to this live or recorded, let me know if you are a doer like me and on point. I'm getting a message there, on point. Okay, so I'm not alone in that. Great. But actually creating the right support systems around yourself and structures. How have you found that for you, Lauren? Like, I actually need a structure, like to know that once a week, this is going to be my focus, so that I make sure that I'm progressing in my business, because otherwise there's so many things going on that you end up being scattered. Well, for me, I don't know if you find the same.
Yeah, 100%. And actually, this is one of the tips I'd like to share for that honeymoon phase in particular, where every opportunity is a new opportunity and everything feels like a really good idea because you're building. And I also was getting very easily distracted in year 1. And so I implemented something called my one big thing. And my mantra for that year was also just have fun with it. It's like, keep it light and enjoy yourself. So every morning in my journal, I would write 3 things down. One was, what is my one big thing to focus on for this day? And I would force myself to do that first, even though it was typically like the biggest and scariest thing to do. Always do the one big thing first. I would then write down something that I could delegate, because I'm absolutely horrendous at that. So I'd be like, if someone on my team can do this, then I should not be doing it. So I'd write down one thing to delegate. And then the third was, I would write down something I was doing in that day purely for fun, just to make sure, and often it was still related to the business, but that's okay, just to make sure I was also enjoying the process as I was going through it.
I absolutely love that. And Dee actually just asked, Lauren, where do you start on what to focus with? And you answered that question absolutely perfectly. So Dee, let me know if that made sense to you, and if you enjoyed that answer and it made sense. So your one big thing, Robin calls it swallowing the frog, which is a terrible saying, but just it's like, it's the thing you don't want to do. You don't want to swallow a frog, guys, whether you're a vegetarian or not. You don't want to swallow a frog, but it's that thing that will move you forward that you kind of procrastinate with, right? So that the delegate, which is what I'm learning to do now as well for the first time in my life. And it's making such a difference. Before, I try to achieve everything myself, and it's just too much. It's too much pressure to put on yourself, and you just actually end up doing a not very good job in certain areas, and you drop the balls. And then the other one is to have fun. And I love that, Lauren, because one of the things that always resonates for me with your energy is that no matter what is going on, you've got the sense of like, woo, I'm learning and I'm having fun and I'm just going through this life process, which I think is so, so, so important, because when we lose joy in what we are doing, we lose that vital energy we need to make our dreams actually come true and make them a reality. So let me know if you guys, if that helped you guys, if that made sense. We go, oh, I'm getting thumbs up. Okay, great. And if this information would help somebody that you guys know, please tag them in the comments below, whether you're watching this live or watching a recording of it. I think the information shared is always valuable. And I do believe we live in this incredible universe made up of energy, and so the right information is reaching you at the exact right time. And then Lauren is also gifted an amazing, the first 1,000 days of business. What an incredible gift, Lauren. It's so, and that's something that I've also noticed about you, and I also urge everybody in here to do the same, is share your gifts, be generous. You know, there's always somebody, I always liken it to yoga, you know, when you're in a yoga class and you're like, yes, I finally got somewhere. And then you look next to you and you see somebody struggling and it's like, yes, the sub 5 come. And then you look to the right of you and you see somebody who's so far ahead and it's like, yes, I've still got so far to go.
Exactly.
So share your gifts, share your knowledge. So I'm going to share that link with you guys on Facebook, but if you're on Instagram, jump onto Lauren Dallas and go into her stories and you'll be able to download those first 1,000 days of business. I'm getting lots of thumbs up and hearts coming up. So thank you to everyone. Your business school as well, Lauren, is going to be kicking off again soon. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? We've got 8 minutes left. We don't have to strictly stay for 8 minutes, but,
No, of course.
but maybe just sharing a little bit of knowledge around that.
So we actually have 2 different offerings under Future Females. It might be worth me covering both, because I've been noticing in your comments, you've got a lot of people who are in business and a bit further ahead. So for the dreamers and for those who were commenting earlier, the business school is built for you. It is built for dreamers and for side hustlers who are looking at, how do I turn this idea into a profitable business that can sustain itself, but also sustain me and be able to comfortably and confidently leave my job and go all in. It might be unpopular, but I would never advise people to risk it all for their business idea. I think this is insane advice. No one can make smart strategic decisions in business if they are under intense financial stress. So anyway, the business school is built for you if you are in those early stages, and it is designed to take you through a process of putting the fundamental building blocks in place that all businesses need to grow. There are a million tactics that you could try in your business, but the problem is that overwhelm is so real when you do try. Yeah. And if you go through and just put these 4 blocks in place, then you will have what's called a funnel, an automated engine bringing leads and customers into your business. And once that's happening, it frees up your time and it frees up some money for you to start experimenting, doing other things. Otherwise, it's very easy to feel quite stuck when you're in those early days and everything is manual and everything is requiring your time and your money as the founder. So the 4 blocks that we work through, the first one is profit, having a profit plan and a trackable budget so you know exactly what you're working towards and can see where to double down and where not. The second is attract, and this is all about creating your attractive brand. What sets you apart in the market, and who is the exact right customer to come into your business and work with you. The third is visibility. Of course, just build and they will come is not true by any means. You need to be visible. You need to be putting your content out there and your ads out there and running even one ad campaign that is bringing all of these people into your business is again going to free up so much of your time. And there's never been a cheaper time than right now during COVID to reach people on social media. So that's what we dig into in Pillar 3. And then Pillar 4 is all about engagement. So once people can see you, how do you engage them in a way that drives a conversion? So how do you engage them to become not just a follower, but a customer? This is where we dig deep into things like email marketing, which we were talking about earlier this week. So that is what the business school is, 10 weeks taking you through that process, those 4 building blocks. As you said, we are opening again soon. Currently, you can join our wait list. If you do join the wait list, you get really awesome bonuses and also a slight discount. So if you are at all interested, then you should just jump on that. And as soon as the doors open, we'll let you know.
Perfect. And then for those that are a little bit further along, so they're not in the dream phase anymore, but they're actually possibly in the honeymoon period or in the hustle zone, you've got an option to support them as well.
Yes. So we did notice this gap. And once you've got the building blocks in place, the journey becomes a lot more messy. There are different directions that different people take their business in. And so it's very hard, although there are programs that aim to do this, but it's very hard to follow a step-by-step, day-by-day process once you're a little further ahead, because you'll find different things work for you. And so we identified this and created a membership portal called our Future Females Founders Club. And this is for in-business founders. And we work together each month. We deep dive into a topic. This month, we're working on landing pages and website optimization. We bring in expert partners. We just had Google running a session for our founders. This month, we've got Shopify coming in and running how to set up a Shopify store and use their tools effectively. We have accountability forums. So we all set our goals together every month. We pair you up with someone else at the same stage as you to be your accountability partner. We run members challenges. Essentially, it is a single destination that at its core is a community. That's what we're all about, but that has combined the coaching, the practical kind of marketing coaching that you need, the accountability and the education that you need to keep taking your business forward. So we're opening the doors for that on the 20th of July. No, on the 13th of July.
On the 13th of July. And what is the name of that one, Lauren?
The Future Females Founders Club.
Founders Club. Okay, so we've got the business school, we've got the Founders Club, guys. And then Lauren has some amazing freebies as well for you guys. So many things. I am going to give you guys all of the links so that you don't feel lost and you can find everything that you need. And thank you, Lauren. I see that there's a beautiful note here saying from Lauren Almeida, she's tuning in from Portugal. She says, yes, I agree. You need to find joy and keep going, or you can end up miserable and hating what you do. Absolutely, absolutely true. So one of the things I've really celebrated about this COVID time, as contradictory as it sounds, is that it's really forced a lot of people to stop and reevaluate what they are doing with their lives, what they're doing with their time. Are you living in true purpose to yourself, in true bliss with yourself, with your highest self? And there's been so many new career changes that have suddenly happened. And this is where I find what Future Females and what Lauren is doing so valuable, because guys, if not now, then when? You know, the reason why I founded Thrive is because we literally get one opportunity in this body, in this consciousness, in this reality that we are experiencing to live this life. So why not make it exceptional? And making it exceptional does mean going out of your comfort zone. It does mean really connecting with yourself and your truth and going, what is the thing that sets my soul on fire? What brings me the most joy? And how do I serve by doing that as well? For me, they go hand in hand, always, always, always. And I know that Future Females ethos is so similar in that way. And so that's why I resonate so deeply. And that's why Lauren is a regular on Thrive. And I will always support what she does and Future Females. So I hope you found today helpful. I see there's hearts going up, which is great. Please tag anyone who you think would find the information we shared today helpful in the comments below. Meti is saying, thank you both. Your flow of love is really amazing. Thank you, Meti. We are always just a mirror of what exists within you. Whenever you spot something beautiful in someone else, just know that it's literally mirroring what exists in you. So right back at you. And Lauren, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been such a pleasure as always.
Of course. Thank you. What a way to kick off our weekends.
What a way indeed. Okay, guys, so I'm going to sign off. Lots of love.